Hi, and welcome to another episode of Society of Like-Minded Men. I'm your host, Ramin Kayvan, and this is your other host, Tommy Sporletter. How are you today, sir?
I am better than I deserve, brother. Great, busy.
You keep saying that. I disagree. I think you deserve it. You deserve to be as good as you are and even better.
That's, there's all these euphemisms out there. That's actually a Dave Ramsey, I think.
Yeah.
But no, life is freaking crazy, but it's amazing.
Yes.
Crazy.
Agreed.
Got a lot of, the word is mojo going right now. And I think I've identified why that's happening is because of what we're doing right here. It's starting to create juices and flow and mojo, and I'm getting excited. And man, what can we touch on next? What story can I tell next? Who can I help next? I.e., maybe somebody help me. We're getting some feedback from other people, and it's sparking that creativity, it's sparking that
That's
drive.
what
And then
happens.
it's like,
Yeah.
how am I going to get all this stuff done? But you know what? It's better that than sitting on the couch eating potato chips doing nothing.
So to paraphrase Tommy, our episode today is about chasing your dreams and being that creative monster that you always knew you could be. You just didn't bother to try. Right. And I'm with him. It's like my life at this point, I'm running like a crazy man, but I'm having so much fun doing it. And it is all by design. It is because a year ago, I decided there were certain things I was going to do and be able to do by the time 2026 rolled around, and I'm there. I'm chasing my dreams. I'm chasing my hopes. And that's what's important. Typically, social media is not as uplifting as it could be because, as we know, it's by design. It's an advertising platform. It's not.
Well, it is, and we're trying to come out of that norm. But how much fun is it chasing your dreams, man?
This is a ton
of fun. You said you're enjoying it. I mean, how much just?
Yeah, things that I'm currently doing are I'm working on becoming a better guitar player. I'm working on becoming a better photographer. I'm working on becoming a better cook. I'm learning how to fly airplanes. I'm doing a podcast with a cool dude named Tommy Sporletter.
Didn't you just publish a couple of audiobooks too?
Yeah, in fact, yes. I'm also a voice actor, and I just got done. I now have 3 books with my name as the narrator up on Amazon Audible.
Dude, that's so awesome. I remember when you started that, when we met, and people talk about your smooth voice.
Smooth as glass voice.
I love it. And I know,
Yeah.
What did they say? Got a face for radio?
I got a face for radio, a face only a
I'm
mother
not
could
saying
love.
that to you. I've been told that to me before, but I don't know. They say I'm starting to actually age pretty well, look a little better than I used to. And a lot of that has to do with dreams, which we're talking about now. And not so long ago, I didn't have much of any dreams. I was just living.
You were surviving.
For the day, and I'm doing that now, but I've got more intention and focus. And when you talk about dreams, there's an intentionality. But what I'm struggling with is pinpointing the dream.
I'm not sure there is the dream. It's interesting. We were talking about this off camera. And I look back on my life and all the things I've gone through, and there was stuff that frankly should have killed me, but didn't. And I'm still here. And I've often wondered, why? Right? Why was that necessary in my life? And now that we're doing this podcast and that we're beginning to help folks find positive forward motion in their lives and look beyond the negative events that occur in everybody's life. Everybody has negative events, but the ability to say, okay, this is happening right now, but it's not actually who I am. It's just something I've experienced. That's a skill set.
Yep.
And if you don't have that skill set, you live inside of the negative event. And I think that has the real dream, the real why was this. I've gone through everything I've gone through in my life, and so have you, so that we could do this.
Well, the reason, and you say why, and I say, why not?
Why not? There isn't the
why
whole
not?
notion
But
of,
you don't. But when you're younger, you don't realize that, and we talk a lot about that. victim mentality, and you
Oh,
see
yeah.
it all the time in
Yeah.
social media and all the negativity and all this and victims, and how many victims are there in the world? And you don't have to turn
Oh
left or
my
right,
god,
and you
yeah.
find a victim everywhere. But as you get older and we talk about you don't care, that's the one thing. It's not that you don't care, but you don't care. And then that turns into, well, why not? Why
Well, I
not?
think I think the a lot of people ask the question, "Why does this happen to me?" Well, it happened to you. Okay. So the only thing you have control over in life is your response to the events that occur in your life,
Hmm.
whether they are good, awesome events or really lousy, bad events. The only control you have, really, if we're honest, is your response to it.
Yep.
So how do you want to respond? How do you want to internalize what has happened? If it's an awesome thing, you should remember it. It should be part of your heart. But even that, you shouldn't like cling to it because then it gets nasty, right? It begins to lose its impact. Um, the question is, how do I build upon this? If I've had a positive experience, how do I build upon this positive experience and have the next level positive experience? And that requires you to actually think differently about your world, yourself, specifically yourself, and your place in it, really, right? You are the sum result of everything you have and have not done by choice over the course of your life. So the question is, if you don't like what's going on right now, what choices do you need to make today so that a year from now you're in a different place,
Yep. We talked about that
right?
last week, or
Yeah, we
10
did.
years from now. And
Y-
I'm a big believer in everything happens for a reason.
Totally.
It
I
really does. And
totally does.
and and but the choices that you make in your life
Mhm.
can compound and have a compounding effect.
Right.
And what happens to you, as you're just talking about, if something good and or bad happens, and let's just take the bad for
Yeah,
example.
yeah,
If
yeah,
something
yeah.
bad happens to you, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
That becomes your where you can exude your power over
Mhm.
yourself and what's inside of you. Something bad happens to you and or around you or your surroundings. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to
Yes.
sit and wallow? Are you going to feel sorry for yourself? Are you going to play the victim? Or are you going to say, what's the motto? Crap happens. It's going to happen. It's going to happen
Stuff does happen.
every
Yeah, and
day.
ever
But it's what you do in those situations and how you handle them. And
correct.
whether it's your children or that, if they do something, what's your demeanor to them? What's your
What's your day?
demeanor?
What and I think that
Every
it starts before you even as you're beginning to wake up in the morning. You need to immediately think about we've mentioned this in our previous episodes. What are you grateful for? Just before
Yeah.
you even wake up, what are you grateful for? Right? You should have at least 3 things that you're grateful for. I think that's important. And then begin to sort of set the intention for the day. This is going to be an amazing day for me. This is going to be a happy day. When you get out of bed like that, then you're in a different mindset than, God, I hope nothing bad happens today. The whole Eeyore thing. You can't live life as
Right?
Eeyore. That's not good, man. But I
Right.
think everything is by choice and things happen to you. Sometimes things happen to you and they're really inconvenient and you wonder why. It's because you're supposed to be doing some things here on this planet, right? There's a purpose for you to be here. And we don't know what that is. That's your job to figure out, right? A good example is a few months ago, I was going to go to like the local grocery store and pick up some food and some other stuff. And then as we drove by the parking lot of the place, it was just jam packed. And I was like, oh man, I don't want to deal with that. So we drove off and did other things. And several hours later, we came back and I said, okay, it seems to have quieted down now. Let's go park in the parking lot. And my wife goes, I'll go just go inside and grab stuff. You stay here. I'm sitting in the car and there's a car kind of parked diagonally from me. And there's a gentleman walking towards it, grocery bags in one hand, walking cane in the other, and he's walking in a shuffle pace of maybe a half an inch per step.
Mm.
And I was like, I know that. I know that pain. I know that's
Wow.
When I fell and broke my back 10
You
years
talked
ago,
about that
that's how I
before.
used to walk, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, shit, he broke his back."
and you could
And
still be
and I
there
could
and you're
see
fine.
it. I could see the look in his face. He's like the distance between him and his car was 10 feet, but it could have been 100 miles for him,
Yeah.
right? And he was just that he was just hoping to make it through that next 10 feet without falling down.
You know what, but a little bit of kudos that he's still at least trying to walk, because
Yeah,
how
and
many
he
people do you see the Walmart wheelie cart and all that, and then it's out of battery and they just sit there and they
yeah,
are
this guy
my
was
guess is this guy wasn't really, really obese or over thing, he
no,
was
he
getting around
wasn't,
because
but and
then
he was
those people
but he was in his mid 80s.
yeah, take
And
it to the
he's
next extreme
right,
and they become huge and
and he eventually made it to the car and eventually got the door open and sat inside, couldn't even lift his legs into the car, and he could just see him. He was crushed. You could see him going, thinking in his head, why am I having to deal with this? And something made me roll down my window and go, you want some help? And he goes, no, I've got this. I'm like, it does get better. He goes, what? I said, it does get better. I was where you were about 3 or 4 years ago. Really? Yes, really. It does get better. I promise you, it gets better. And he goes, good, because man, I'm alone. I just put my wife in a memory care place. I have nobody to take care of me. I'm having to, and I'm like, brother, I hear your pain. I
yeah,
hear your pain and I feel it. But we talked probably, and during the talk, he just sort of, without really thinking about it, lifted his legs into the car and closed the door and rolled down his window. And we talked for, my wife was gone in the supermarket for 30 minutes. We talked for that entire time. We talked about his life and what he's
and he was
hoping to,
very happy to just
you know,
have someone to talk to. My guess
he,
is he's got nobody.
he, and I, and, you know, it's funny because when my wife got back to, he drove off. And when my wife got back to the car, I said, I know why we didn't stop earlier. That's why. That's why we didn't stop here earlier. He wasn't here yet.
Yeah, well, that's it, everything
That's it.
happens for a
End of
reason, but,
conversation.
you
I
know,
was
you use
supposed to be there for him,
you bet,
right?
and
And I was supposed to be there for him, and I was. And
yep,
that to me was huge. I went home that night, and one of the things I was thankful for was that I was there for him, and two, that I was ahead of him in the game, that I had gone through what I had gone through so that I could speak to it and help him move forward with his life,
yep.
right? This
You
is why
use the
you,
analogy of I liked it, of Winnie the Pooh, and we're
yeah,
talking about dreams.
yeah,
So, I bet you Winnie the Pooh
yeah.
lives for dreams,
Oh,
and I bet
absolutely.
you Eeyore ain't
Y
got many dreams.
yeah, Eeyore is just
You know
happy
what I mean?
somebody noticed him.
Just
"Thanks for noticing
just
me."
it was funny you brought it just made me think, dreams and who do you wanna be? You wanna be more like Winnie the Pooh, or
Yep.
you wanna be more like Eeyore?
Yeah,
And again,
exactly.
there's that choice, and it's funny because we talked, off camera too some about storytelling and stuff, but the people who write books and write songs and sing songs, and you're a musician,
Yeah,
you do that, and you've written songs. I know that
yeah,
is people tell
yes,
stories through that, and what we were talking about earlier, why life just is it's 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 great right now. It really is. I mean, there's
yeah.
a lot
I
of
got
crazy stuff going in the world. I get it and
knock
all
on
that.
my wooden head,
But,
I got no complaints.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, heck, yesterday, the little one starts second season of soccer. We bought a kite and man, I just took it and we just flew the kite.
What the
It
hell else is
was
there to life, buddy?
so
It's
much fun. And it just like that. And I've said it 2 times this week. I even said it in the workplace and in our leadership meetings with the executive team when we have to present. And I said, hey, no offense, to 2 of the owners. I love it here. I appreciate it, but no offense, but the best career I have is being a father.
being a dad. Yeah,
And they knew it, and they know it, and that's we talk about why, and everybody who knows me now knows that that's my why and my identity, but getting back to the dream thing, which we're talking about, is I've been struggling with that when you say that is identifying, and it doesn't have to be one thing, but as
no,
kids, I you look at a little kid and they're dreaming all the time, like this and that and this and that, and it's like, man, we get older and we lose that, and I'm excited to get back to that and think about dreams and the future and what's coming up instead of just the moment and just here and even just the
Yeah, so
immediate
that
goal, but a
this is
dream.
something we'll discuss in a different episode, but in depth. But the thing that you have to realize is that today is not today. Today is a result. It's after the equal sign.
Yeah.
It's a function literally of everything you chose to do before today and did not choose to do before today. Put those together and put the equal sign, and then that's what you're doing. What's what you're experiencing today. So I guess the question I have for everybody is, what do you want your life to be like after the equal sign a week from now, 10 days from now, a year from now, Christmas even? You know what I'm saying?
Heck with that, even 2 hours from now, especially like I said, if you're in
Yeah.
that really bad spot, where do you wanna be 2 hours from now? Do you wanna stay in that really bad spot for 2
eh,
hours, 4 hours,
Right.
6 hours, or
How
do
mu
you wanna be like,
Yeah, exactly.
"It is what
Yeah,
it is, it
the
happened, I don't
the I think
care," and
the preciousness of time is the thing that slips away from most people, which is why they don't which is why it bothers me really when people say, I say, "So what are your dreams?" And they look at me with a blank look. That there's How much time do you think you have on this planet? Honestly, right?
well,
If you're
the
not achieving
reality
your
is
if you're not achieving your dreams, and if
we
you're
don't
not
know.
chasing the things that make you happy, who's gonna?
Right. Well, that's it, and that's why, reality check, and we're transparent here, and
Yeah,
I after this episode, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna listen, and I'm gonna be like, and I journal every day, but that's one thing that I've not been paying attention to because there's so much about the immediate, and there's so much about this going on,
right. And
but taking the time to slow down, take a deep breath, and just dream. Just
just
man,
go sit outside, stare at the sky. We had a clear night the other night, and I just sat outside and stared at Orion's belt, and I just thought. There was no
yeah.
I didn't try to accomplish anything. I just sat and saw what drifted through my brain.
Meditate. I've been wanting to do this, I've never
I've done
done it, I've
meditation
tried
before.
to
It's cool.
is official intentional meditation
Yeah, no, I
that
think
you just don't.
it is a great way to sort of settle your mind. We all have busy lives, busy minds. Everything is competing for your attention every second of the day,
Mm,
right? And your tendency, and certainly my tendency, and I know my wife's tendency, is to want to respond to that. I now,
right.
right?
Yeah,
And the reality is, you don't have
you
to.
don't.
There is no, if you don't respond right freaking now, nothing will happen,
Yeah.
right? So I think the problem we have is that we raise our children to have no ability to set their own boundaries, right? That
Mhm.
says, my time, go away now, right? Leave me alone. I'll see you in an hour. I'll see you tomorrow, even, right? We don't give our children that capacity so that they can think and dream, which then, of course, as they grow up, the problem gets worse because it's compounded by life's complexities, right? It just makes the situation worse. And this is why we all sort of, that this is why there's such an upsurge in people wanting to get therapy, right? It's because the nothing about life makes sense. Everything about life is external to us. I have to respond to the boss. I have to respond to the children. I have to respond to the wife. I have to respond to the car. I have to respond to the right. There's nothing that says, can I just respond to myself for a minute?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That
It,
the dream
that's
is
that
almost
just dreams.
when
It's
you
like
say, "What do you dream?" It's like, that can be, what do you want? You talked about
that's the big
this
question.
last week.
That's the big
Dream and
question.
want.
What do
People
you
can't even
want?
identify, what do you want? And that's what I'm
And I
I'm
think
trying to do. We talked about even this podcast. It's like,
it's hard.
what do we want from this? What's
Yes.
our dream for this? What's our
Yeah.
we talked about this offline before this, and we've talked about it before, why we even started this thing in the first place.
Yeah.
We know what we want. We want to help improve the lives of other men with the
Sure.
lessons we've done and the things we've learned, and in turn, doing that, and we've learned this, it improves
Ours.
ourself.
Yeah, it improves our life.
And that's
And
one thing I can tell you I want. I want to be the best version of myself that I can be,
yes,
and I know that's a real blanket thing 'cause, "Oh, what is that?" But
there's no definition around that. That's up to you,
it really is,
right?
and I
What
am
does an
finding
awesome you
out
look like?
doing this
Only you
and
know what the hell that means, right? You know,
yeah,
my awesome me is different than your awesome you, right?
it really is. Yeah.
And but that's okay. The question is, what impact are you having in the world around you as you are being awesome, as you are being great, as you are chasing your dreams? What is your impact? It is ultimately about the impact you have. You know, people say, "What's your why?" Your why is has to be outside of you. Yours is a child,
Mhm.
right? For me, my why is, and it's weirdly starting this podcast is what has brought it into focus for me, is the ability to help others, is the ability to have a positive impact on the lives of other men and other people. How do I help them with the hard-earned wisdom of my bumps and bruises throughout the course of my life, so that they don't have to make the same mistakes I've made and be able to achieve the things they want to achieve faster than I did? That's my job. That's
Yeah,
how I see it. That's my why, right? And at the end of the
yeah,
day, it's as I heard somebody once said, if your why doesn't make you cry, it ain't big enough.
right? Amen to that, brother. Amen
That's
to
as
that.
simple as that.
I mean, and that is so true.
Yeah.
But so many people and I had a short on our thing because yesterday I was walking and I think
Uh-huh.
you posted it, but it was a little bit
Mhm.
about eliminating the excuses, but
Yep.
I was out there and why I decided to ruck while she's out doing soccer, and that is because it comes back to my why. And my why
Yeah, yeah,
makes me cry. It brings me tears of joy.
yeah,
Thankfully, I haven't had a lot of tears of sorrow. There's going to be times when that comes, but people that don't have why
yeah.
that's big enough.
Yes.
When we got in the group of men and the other group that we have together, we talk about it all the time is
Yep.
defining your why, because until you have
Yeah.
that defined,
Yes.
and I know
Then
my
and
whys now, so now I needed to target, not target, but because I don't want to overthink the dreams now. I want to let them flow, and I'm
you gotta
glad
let
I
them flow.
journal,
You
but I
gotta
want
let
to sit
yeah.
down now. What you said, I want to go outside. I want to go under the stars,
Go
have a
stare at
little
the
light, and
sky.
I just want to journal about dreams, and we call it Wattsa, which is writing at the speed of thought. I just want I that's what I need to do next because this dream thing, and I'm glad you brought this subject up. It's like I want to have a little more definition of what my dream is. So when you ask me what's your dream, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I kind of know, but I don't know. But I'd like to have it
Yeah.
more defined because until you define it, like everything else we talk about, you really can't be intentional in getting it, can you?
Exactly. It's the it goes back to the restaurant analogy, right? If you're the customer in the restaurant who knows what they want off the menu, you're likely to get what you want.
Yeah.
But if you're standing around going, "I don't know what I want," you're likely not to get what you want, right? And that's the way the universe operates. However, for you to be able to be intentional, you really have to spend time with you by yourself and
Yeah.
look at yourself in the mirror and go, what do I really want? And the parameters I would put around that are money, no object, time, no object. You can have all the money you want and all the time you want. If those were the parameters, what would your dreams be?
Right.
There is no benefit to you or anybody else for you to dream small. Under no circumstances does that help you. Does that benefit anybody in your family? If you have children, What kind of an example are you setting,
Well, yeah,
right? So if
we did this exercise in the group, and it was said that if money wasn't an it was no object and time was no object, what would be your dream
mm,
job? Your dream job, and we pinned it down to that, and it was amazing, and we spent an entire week thinking of that and doing exercises. There was a couple guys that did that, and they stayed in the other program I was in, and within a year, they were living their dream job, and they never thought of it, and they didn't think it was achievable, and they didn't think they can do it, and they talk about,
mhm,
"What's your dream day look like in your dream job?" And this guy said, "Screw it. I need
yeah,
to work for everybody else," but he had had all the experience and all the knowledge, and he said, "I'm gonna go start my thing," doing what he did, and a year later,
he was
his
fine. He
wife
was
was working with him. He
yeah,
was spending time with this child hunting, and I think you know the person I'm talking about,
absolutely. Yeah,
and
yeah.
I still connect with them. Man, I love that guy, and it's just like and
Yes,
he did it, and it's like
yes.
because he thought about what my dream
Yep.
day and what my dream job looks like.
24 shoot, it's 24 years ago? Yeah, 24. I'm getting old, dude.
Come on, man.
24
Not
years
old.
ago,
You ain't the
24
80-year-old waddling to the car, so
24 years ago, a little over 24 years ago, I had been laid off of a phenomenal job working for a phenomenal company. And I remember having dinner with, at the time, my ex-wife and going, because I was trying to think, okay, what kind of job do I want when, who do I want to work for? And every time I thought about it, I was like, I really don't want to work for anybody anymore. I want to work for me. Even if I screw it up and I fail and
mhm,
I fall flat on my face, at the very least, I can say I tried.
yeah.
That was 24 years ago. I'm still in business. I have amazing employees. I have amazing clients. And have I gone through a lot of shit? Oh yeah, we could do a whole segment of this podcast about how not to run a business.
Oh, well, you know, I've
All
done
kinds of screw ups there.
yep, yep,
But
yep.
the beauty of it is that out of every one of those little episodes has come a kernel of wisdom and a kernel of truth that has eventually built me into the person I am today. And that I don't know that I would trade. I like who I am today, which, by the way, you should be able to say, you should be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I like who you are. And if you can't do that, if you
And
can't
I
do
can
that, that's like
do
step one. Step one, fix that
yeah.
first,
Oh,
right?
but it wasn't that long ago. I couldn't, wouldn't,
You couldn't and wouldn't because yeah,
and
you didn't
now
feel good about yourself,
yeah,
right? I
um,
am well, one of the things that happens is the need for validation goes from external to internal as you
yeah.
go down this journey.
Well,
So,
you're bringing it full circle because what you're
yeah.
doing now is that 24 years of experience and all those experiences. Now that's why you're doing what you're doing now and doing this dream that you have now, creating this, expanding this, doing this is because you are sharing those
Yes.
nuggets of wisdom, those
Yes.
nuggets of experience, those things with other people. And at the end of the day, whenever that is, wherever this goes, whatever we do, as we talked about this last podcast, and I listened to it at the end, and we said if we just touch one person,
Yeah,
that's
1. That's all
awesome
it
for
takes.
us.
1. But if
But
there's
I
more,
believe
then by all
if
means,
we do
please
it
let us
right and
know.
we stay authentic and we know why we're doing this, it will touch many.
Yes, it
It
will.
will, and that's the exciting part that I come back to this whole mojo thing because I see it going and the creative juice is flowing and I'm getting
Right.
some feedback from other people saying, "Keep it up, doing a good job." And it's I'm not doing it for the self-validation. In a little ways I am, because it's okay, and that's what I learned too. It's okay to enjoy the experiences and not to be prideful, but take a little pride in what you're doing, and when you get a compliment, being able to accept it. You know what I mean? Because there's some people that can't even accept compliments. They can't accept help. They can't accept that, and as I've gotten older, I was just talking to my mother this weekend. You know, I've offered at times to help people, and they say, "No, I don't need your help." And then you see them struggle, and then they're complaining and moaning, and it makes you feel like what? You're too good to take my help. So that's the one thing I've learned when somebody offers me help and I've really identified that I could use it. Yeah, sure, I'd love it. You know what I mean?
Life is much more pleasant when you're open to receiving.
Amen. I always thought I just give, and
No, no, no.
perfectionist and all this, and I don't need anybody's help, and I don't need this, and that is so far from the truth,
So far from
especially
the truth.
with men, and we're trying to improve and be better, is you need a society. It's why we call it the society. And then it's like-minded, man, and I think people who are reading this or watching the episodes or seeing them, they're understanding what we mean by like-minded. We don't there there's all kinds of other societies and podcasts
Yeah.
you could go find, and
But at the end of the day,
this
I
is
think
what
that
it is, and
the key is that as an individual, you become more of a man when you are able to not only give support and care, but also receive it,
yeah,
right? You can't do everything yourself, despite
no,
what society will tell you. And in fact, that's not your job.
no,
So, these are the important things to remember in life. You are where you are because of the choices you've made. If that's not really working for you, you really need to go spend time by yourself and look at yourself in the mirror and go, what do I want? What do I what does my life look like? If everything was awesome, what does my life look like a year from now?
yep, and then that's where that the dream comes in, and it can be a big, big, big dream that's way down the road, or it could be a dream that in a year from now, th I'm gonna I'm gonna have this. I mean, people could dream if it's a car, man, dream that car, manifest that car, do things to get
Dream the
that
car,
car,
but
whatever it is.
if you don't see yourself as being worthy of such things, you will never
You're never
you
gonna get it.
no, you're not. It's never going to happen. You need to be able to see yourself as being worthy of receiving such things
Yeah,
and that you deserve it.
yep,
That's it. I
amen.
mean, it's there's nothing the thing about life that I've discovered as I've gotten older is that it's relatively simple. I think we make it way more complex than it needs to be. You need to dream. You need to sit down and say, "What do I want?" And yes, you can have huge dreams. I want to be, you may be flipping burgers today and you say, "Look, I want to be a trial attorney." Okay. That's awesome. What's it going to take to get you there? How long? Are you willing to put in the time and effort to get there?
Yeah.
Right? Are
Well,
you
that's
willing
it
to,
too. Then
are
you
you
can go
willing to
back to
form the social relationships necessary to get you there?
well, that's it,
In
and
the
we go back to the things we talked about. Are you willing to then start the habits? Are you willing to do the electrifying pass? Are you willing to do the things necessary to do it? Because you can want it or talk about it all day, and I'll circle right back to our last podcast, but you can't say, "I'm gonna try." You have to do
There
it,
are no
and you have
tries.
to
There, yeah,
s
there
you
that's
have to start
yeah.
it, but what
Yes,
do you
but
even
at the
start
end of
if
the
you don't know
day,
what the hell you want? So figure out what you
exactly.
want,
So I'm
right?
saying that's why I'm saying go sit somewhere with a journal or even just a cup of tea and think. Don't surround yourself with people for a while. And when you come up with those dreams, you don't necessarily always need to tell people.
No.
Keep it quiet because you'll find that there's always going to be someone. There are going to be a few people who will, immediately stand up and cheer you on. But then there's a large cadre of people for whom that dream is impossible. And therefore, who are you to dream such dreams?
Yeah.
Right. And so my recommendation is if it's a big enough dream, quiet,
Yeah.
keep it to yourself, share it with only those you think will cheer you on or help you get to the next level. Because here's what's going to happen. You're going to eventually, if you do that, you're going to eventually achieve that dream. And all those people who would have said, no, there's no way you're going to ever do this, are going to come up to you and go, how the hell did you do that? How do you think I did it?
Right.
I busted my ass. That's how I did it.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Right. So it's kind of imperative that you focus on you. You can't, if you're a father, you can't be an amazing father unless you are an amazing person to yourself. Give yourself the ability, and we tell moms this, it's like single moms are the worst at this because they get pulled in 1,000 different directions, and society tells them they're not allowed to feel good about themselves,
Yeah.
which is a load of bull,
Yep.
right? And the same thing, we do the same thing with dads, and the idea is that you need to recharge your batteries. You need to do the shit that makes you happy. I don't care what that is. I don't care if it's like you wanna, go in the garage and grind some iron on a grinding wheel. Whatever the hell it is, go do it, right? Make that a thing for you. If you're gonna refinish furniture, go refinish furniture. It doesn't really matter. It's just that you're doing a thing for you. You're doing you, right? Whatever
Yep.
that is. You wanna play
Yep.
guitar, you wanna play ukulele, but at the end of the day, it's about recharging your batteries, which then, if you are a father, if you are a caretaker, you have energy to give someone when they need it,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yep.
anyway,
Yeah.
dreaming.
Good stuff, man.
The dreaming is big. Do it. I
It is.
highly recommend it.
Do it. We talk about it all
Do
the
it,
time.
man.
The things you
Do
talk
it.
about, it's not just lip service. If you
No.
implement them and you use them, because again, we're sharing, we're talking from experience. Things will change. Things will
Yes, they
change
will.
for you. And if
They
you
will dramatically. You'll see.
and if you're stuck, or if you need some help,
Yeah.
if you're wondering, reach out, send something direct.
Send us, yeah.
We're-
Do us a
we're
favor.
here
Do us a favor and like, subscribe, and comment to these videos because it really does help us. It helps the algorithm pick us up and put us out to more people. See if we can help more people. So yeah, whatever you can do, we would love it. And then that's it. Tommy, thank you again for a wonderful evening. And I shall see you on the next one.
Sounds good, man.
See you,
All right.
brother.
See ya.
Be good.
Bye. Be good.